So we finished off at your battle, but
Yep.
the next question I want to ask you is influence in your creativity. You mentioned growing up, a lot of influence from your family, but
Sure.
one thing that I wanted to touch on is the theme of you being not aggressive in a bad way, but you are coming at like I got narcolepsy right here. Like that beat is West Coast. No,
Yeah.
no question about it.
CVE.
Right. And
E.
the way you are spitting on that fucking beat, it's no question. It's like, yo, I'm here in your fucking face.
Yep.
The way I've seen you in the documentaries, the way I've seen you in the videos, from any of the MCs that have been interviewed, yo, Ellay Khule, he's the one that's gonna say good or no good. You're literally the dude that's watching the Gladiator and saying or and
Yep.
and you mentioned it before. Your family had a big influence in your creativity. The second question goes in aside from your family, what else or who else had influence in that creativity?
Um. Well.
I mean, like more or less in music. So I know Projectblowed was a big impact on you. You know, you
uh,
walked into the good life, you saw the MCs, you're like, this is what I want to do. But there had to be other influences than West Coast cats. Because you mentioning Cool Mo D, Busy B,
yep.
uh, Furious Five, Cold Crush Crew. Like there has to be other influences.
Yep. Well. Being that my family was musicians and my mother was a record collector, I would have to say everything that even came before rap, I was influenced by, whether it be jazz, whether it be soul, funk, R&B, shit, rock. One of my big influences is the British invasion, like that Duran Duran shit, like Depeche Mode and all that. People don't really think that, I'm tapped into all that, but you got to remember, before it was rap, it was all this shit. You feel me? Right before rap came, all this was like
Especially on
hip
the West
hop.
Coast. Because
Yeah,
how I've talked to Kilu and everyone, New York was like, and then the West Coast was just climbing up.
yep.
And sorry, I'll clap so I could get a hard pause. Um, if you need to eat or anything, let me know, man.
No trip.
Okay,
No trip.
okay.
What you drinking right there?
Sailor Jerry's rum.
Dope. No, but um, say like on hip hop, my influences are the very first generation of hip hop with the Melly Bells, the Cool Mo D's, the Run DMC, the Fat Boys, the Houdinis, UTFOs,
Marley
Cool,
Marl.
all of that stuff. My first I liked first initially I liked Fat Boys first, and then I kind of changed from the Fat Boys, and I started liking Run DMC a lot, and then after that I started liking LL Cool J a lot. I liked Run, and I was just telling somebody last night, Run and Cool J were like the first people to usher in the lyrical aggression. It's almost like they yelling at you.
Can
You
I
know,
can I tell you can I tell you a
go ahead,
story?
go ahead.
I was talking to Do It All from Lords of the Underground.
Uh huh.
Just before this interview, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that was like 5 p.m. your time. Yeah. No. Yeah. Again. Sorry. Um, he was telling me The day Marley Marl signed them up, they walked into the studio and he said there was a skinny kid with a white wife beater, and a red Kangol hat rapping to this song going da 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 da. Let alone, he said that they walked in on LL Cool J rapping to Mama Said Knock You Out for the first time. Blew my fucking mind. I'm sorry, that was just a fun fact I learned.
No, that's dope. That's dope. I mean, if you can, that should let you know where you gonna be at. If you could just be in the studio, in the same studio you in, LL Cool J is there, and he's making one of his hit songs. You know, but I was saying that one reason why I think that Cool J to me won the Cool J Cool Mo D back and forth is
Yeah.
because it was a changing of the guard. Cool Mo D at the time was still using that old school voice that people needed to stop using at that time. You know, that ha 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 ha, well, it's the big break, like using that voice like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think he lost, because the youngsters, we wasn't fucking with that. And not to say that we didn't like Kool Moe Dee, we did. But once LL Cool J came, we was like, oh shit, that's how you supposed to do it. Because he was new, he was fresh, he was aggressive, he was in your face. You know, he was
I
like,
graduated with the times.
yeah, he never used the old school voice. So he came in right at the time to where it's like, oh, I don't need to use that voice. But then here's another example. Run, and I mean Run by itself.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the same thing. But if you listen to the songs, DMC would still use the old school cadence. But
Yep.
Run was very futuristic with the pen.
Forward thinking, progressive.
He was progressing the pen all the time. So it's like, so my name is DMC, the all-time great, and I bust the most runs in New York State. So that's DMC. And then Ron would come with, once again, my friend, not a trend, but then they said rap was crap to the 10% until the ruler came with the
Yeah,
cooler on
yeah,
that.
yeah. It went,
Like, oh shit.
and I hate
A
comparing
kid back,
this.
like, oh shit, this is incredible. This is like, I used to want to be Run like a motherfucker. I used to want to be like Cool J like a motherfucker. So that's really was my first influences. And of course, like I said, the Fat Boys too, because I was a beatbox before I was ever a rapper.
Mm.
Yeah. So I was beatboxing for an MC, and then, but within that same year, I start rapping too. But I was
Yeah.
initially a beatbox because I didn't have the confidence in rhyming yet, or putting my rhymes on public display yet.
That's fucking crazy. Cause listen to you, man. I mean, literally listen to you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like I said, like a lot of people don't have that story to it either to connect that story. Like I was beatbox first. You know, the first thing I did was producing with my brother with the Casio machine. Very soon after that, my uncle taught me how to play drums. And then so I think that was the influence of the beatbox. I was producing beats, and then I was playing drums. So I guess it was natural for me to beatbox. But
Yeah.
then I was also at the time doing like joke freestyles, like kind of like talking shit to people, kind
Yeah.
of like
Yeah. You can hear it.
roasting, you know. So I would do that, and then I would get reaction from that. So I was like, okay, I might have something in that. You know, it came to me naturally. So, eventually, of course, started rhyming, and then once I started rhyming, I realized that's where my talent really was. So I just honed into that for a while.
And did you immediately going into that chop hop or that quote unquote fast style, twisted style of rapping?
Well, I was doing a old school version of it. It was They would call it flipping the tongue.
Yep, you mentioned that in the documentary.
Yeah, flipping the tongue, or doing or tongue twisters or flipping the tongue is what they would call it.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
flipping. So, like on this last interview I did with my boy, I bust one of the first raps that I wrote. It was something like I remember the pattern of the flipping more than the words, but I remember the beginning. So I would start off, I'm the warrior, run, love, elegant as can be. I'm cooler than cool, that's why they call me Cool Breeze. I'm about to bust a fresh rhyme that you never heard with difficult grammar, no explicit word. And I get it when I sit it, then I spit it, and I spit it because I did it, because I done it, and you know I'm not the plummet. So I was doing like something like that, but I would once I start that pattern, I would keep going to the end. I would do that. But I was just like 12 and 13. So as a kid, that was like incredible because everybody older than me was like, oh shit, listen to him, he's killing you, you know. So I would get in my battle. And then once I realized that little pattern like would get people to be like, oh, look at him, I'd start doing that in every rap that I wrote. So all of my first 20 raps went exactly like that. Slow flow, first bars. First 8 bars, slow flow. Last 8 bars, you know, that. But I was only using that one pattern. I never divulged outside of that pattern because I was only like 13 years old. So I wasn't wise enough to know that I could do more. So as I start listening to different MCs, boom, boom, boom. And then, like, say like when first time I saw Micah 9, which he was Microphone Mike at the time.
Yep.
Once I heard him, because he's like 3 or 4 years older than me. Once I heard him, that opened my mental door to be like, oh, I can do whatever I want to do. Like, I didn't get that until, like, I heard him rapping. Like, oh, shit, I don't have to stay stuck with just that.
Yeah, you could just go in and
I
fuck
could
things up.
on and bob and wave and do all sort of stuff. But I didn't realize that, like, really till I heard him, you know, rhyming, and he didn't have any limitations to what he was doing. You know, I was younger, so I was limiting myself lyrically. But once I met him, I realized, like, there is no limit. You can do whatever you want to do. So he helped me out without even knowing
it. That alone is crazy because, you know, it just unlocks a whole new thinking pattern for the brain.
Yep.
I mean, the last question I have to ask is trials and challenges you faced. So I know there's challenges you faced before you have been shot.
Yep.
And then there's challenges you faced after you got shot.
Yep. Sure is.
And if you're comfortable enough, I would love to hear both. But if you're not, let me know.
I talk about whatever, you know. I don't hide nothing, man. It's all, you know, it's public information. I did a whole video with
You did.
So
you made a song, Cheating Death.
Yep.
On your website. I'll bring it to my LA voice. Some LA buster shot at you.
Yep.
Without any warning.
Yep.
Or anything. Or shot at your friend's car.
Shot at my car.
Your car.
I was in my car, yeah.
And
it was actually my lady's car, but yeah.
It shot you 2 times through the neck, 1 time through the neck and back?
Well, 1 neck, 1 chest, 1 torso. Yeah, all vital places, you know.
Absolutely. And thank God they fucking missed, and hopefully they go and burn in hell for that. But I want to talk about challenges you faced growing up to that, and then challenges you faced after that. Because honestly, after that, we're here. I mean, literally to this point, you and I are here. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine too many trials and challenges you faced growing to that, because everyone is talking so highly of you. You know, you're the guy that controls the rhythm of the battle, or the open mic, or the show. So you have to be the person that you are doing the things that you do.
Yep.
Even after that, man, like, even after that, it's the same quote.
Yeah. I mean, the challenges. It's always a challenge. It's a challenge being a black man growing up, you know, in the inner cities of America. We call it the wilderness of North America. But and it's also a challenge being growing up in like a poor sort of setting where you know you don't have all the money and you don't have all the things. So, but you know, as they say, from pressure comes diamonds. So I had all the challenges. You know, I've
Yeah.
been shot at multiple times as a youth. You know, shot at people myself. I've been in brawls where bats pulled out and cracked ribs, all sort of stuff. You know,
Mm-hmm.
challenges with my parents. You know, with my mother moving from the same state that my father was in. So,
That's
you know,
I'm sorry to cut you off, but that is the worst challenge ever.
yeah, it's that is a challenge. You know,
I,
being
I went through that. I have grown up without a father. I mean, I've had a stepfather that I considered my dad, but I haven't met my real father till I was 20.
right. Yeah, so you know that'll make you do things that you probably wouldn't necessarily do if you had male guidance. You know, uh, so that's probably one of the reasons why I did get into gangs and gang banging and things of that nature because I didn't have my father there, but it wasn't because like you know he was a deadbeat and he wasn't around. It was like my mom skipped states and went way across the United States to get away from him. You feel me? And he even came out to LA, you know, to try to deal with my moms or whatever, but they couldn't make their thing work. So he ended up going back to Ohio. And so, you know, just from that alone, you know, being in a single parent household, my mother having to work all the time, that gave me and my siblings a lot of free time. So with a lot of free time, you know, shit, I got into all sort of stuff. But and you know, it reminded me of a line that Nipsey Hussle say. He was talking about his friend Fats. He said how you die at 30 something after banging all those years. And then when he died, his friend Jay Stone put that same rap in his new song about Nipsey Hussle and the dude Fats. So he was like, how you die at 30 something after banging all them years. So that's how I feel about getting shot. You know, like I was in the street for years and years and years, and I didn't get shot when I was actually active, being like a bad dude. But guess what? You know, sometimes if you believe in karma or whatever, like that's why I don't necessarily, you know, I don't trip off of it in a way where I'm down on myself because I also know that I've done all sort of shit too. And just because it didn't get me while I was on the street being active, that don't mean it's still not there to be got. So, you know, I take that, you know, I'm one of those people too that look at things that I've done also. So I'm not just sitting back like, Oh yeah, I've been an angel my whole life, and I've never done anything to anybody. So woe is me. I'm not like that, but I wasn't doing anything at the time. But I know life doesn't always work like that. You know, when it comes to karma, like you can't tell karma when to come back for you.
Yeah.
You know what I
It,
mean?
it,
So
it's just gonna bite you whenever.
yeah. So I don't. That's why I don't necessarily. I'm not like tripping off of it and just like playing like the super victim role. It's just like it's unfortunate that the shit happened, and I've had physical issues and all of that shit because you can't just get shot in the neck and think you just gonna be back 100% or regular. You can't get shot in the chest and the torso and think that everything will work how it used to. It doesn't.
Right.
But I still found ways to get around the problems that I have, and I also I've become stronger in other elements. So
Right. Absolutely, you have. You've
yeah, so I'm not.
mastered not only one but two elements of extending your own creations almost.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's something that I just had to do because and like say like before I got shot, I was on 163 days of straight workouts because a little prior to that, I went to the hospital, doing my regular checkups or whatever, and they told me that I was pre-diabetes. So after that, I was asking them, what could I do? This, that, and the other. They were like, just change your diet somewhat and work out as much as you can. So I started working out every day. Now from there, then I got shot and I couldn't work out for I don't know. It was probably a week maybe, but while I was still healing and I had all sort of shit on my body like drains and bandages and all sort of shit, I went right to my boxing speed bag because I wanted to see because I took a shot under here too. So I wanted to see could I go like this still. And because it was just something in my head, I was like, damn, I was working out for 163 days
I
straight.
seen the stories, man. You were able to get back on the same fucking day.
But it was almost the same day. It was like within 5 days. But I just had to see because that's just how my mind works. I had to see what the fuck was going on. So I wanted to know could I still do it. And once I got on the thing, because it's on my video too. That intro's my video. I show that's the actual video of me. It's not a recreation. It's an actual video on the cheated death at the beginning of it where you can see I'm all bandaged up and I got like a blood drain hooked up to my neck and all of this shit. But I got on my speed bag and I had to practice. I wanted to see could I do it. And then once I did it, I was like, all right, now I see what the challenges are and I got it. So I took another 3 or 4 days to get better. And then after that, I went right back to work. And I think right now I'm on day 676. I believe that's the date of straight workouts straight. I believe that's what number I'm on.
Yo, so I'll edit this part out. Uh Run. Just start. I mean, if not run, but walk more.
Oh, I'll walk. I'll walk multiple times a week and ride my bike.
Yo, I'm telling you, walking and running at least is more endorphins and more. You already know this shit.
So
I won't
walk
preach it to
multiple
you.
times a week. I don't just do heavy weights and all that because walking is my light workout. So I do a light workout a couple of times a week. Just to break
The
up the monotony.
the most important workout for your body, even after you work out, is a recovery workout, which is a walk.
Uh-huh.
That is the most important workout. So after you actually lift weights, go for a walk, come back, eat, and that will build your strength like no other.
Right.
That's just me personally saying from me to you.
I hear you. I
Uh,
got it.
we crossed that out. Trials and tribulations after the fact. I mean, literally, the only question I have after this is my own personal question. Uh, it's off the bus driver freestyle. I'm sorry. This is a music question. Projectblowed. Yep. I don't know if you can hear it. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
All right. This is the only last question I have for you, man. Fuck.
True about what I heard the other day. She said Ripmanic's is wide. She says he has an ego problem.
I'm sorry, man. This is you. I know it's you because of the voice. I cannot find this song anywhere.
That
This.
I know where it's at. That should be on the hip hop playing clandestine.
KCLAN Destin.
Yep, DESTINE clandestine. That's the hip hop clan unreleased album right there. That should be on there. And it's funny because look, I did that beat, and I had to do it live because I was in the studio with Nobody and OD, and they couldn't do it because it had to be done live. So when you hear the drums going through, that's me on the pads going live right there.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going. So it might even sway off like a tad every now and again because it's me
Nah, man.
doing the drums.
Yo, I've been looking for that song for so fucking long. You can put that on a record, man.
I think that's on the hip hop clandestines. I think that's on there. Be cool, Talamio and Terra Blast over to Yonkers.
Yeah, yo, I absolutely fucking love that song. Just because it was like so it was over the top, man.
Raw.
It was too raw.
Yeah.
It was absolutely too raw.
That probably didn't have no mix, no master. That was me live on the drums. I found a sample somewhere. Like that song was just raw. And this is why I always be like, it's not always about how good sonically something sounds.
Right.
It's what does the song make a person feel like?
Oh man, it made me feel like, yo, let's fucking start something.
That's funny. it invokes that side.
It absolutely does, man. I got my fucking notebook full.
Yeah, that was when Hip Hop Clan. That was about the time in the song where it just started being me and Pterodactyl. that was the time that it started being me and Pterodactyl, because we went through a couple of different phases with different members, even like Reckless. He was in the hip hop clan first, and then he joined CVE. My boy Scarface, he was also in hip hop clan. Capital A,
Scarface,
not Scarface from Ghetto Boys, no, but Scarface. He's a Scarface from The Good Life, and he used to a lot of jazz with JMD a lot. And Capital AK, he was in Hip Hop Clan. And then my other homie, JXL, he was in Hip Hop Clan too. So we went through a couple of different makeups of the group. But around that time, it just started being me and my cousin Pterodactyl. And that's when we started really getting to the grit, because me and him, we know how to chop off each other, like know how to bounce off each other right with the style.
To the grit, man. I ultimately, like how I said, you said, I said, you said. OG Classics 2, Volume 2. Personally, Dan's opinion, that's how it always should be. Just because the consumer, myself,
right,
that's all they want to hear.
I know.
Yeah,
I get it. But I always say this. I say this. It's like, being a fan of an artist, you have to grow with the artist. You feel me? Like, I'm not some crazy 19-year-old no more.
Right.
So I don't have that energy. I don't have the same life outlook that I had then. I was aggressive. I was fucking over the top all the time. So it came across in my music, because of course you said it's just like you aggressive, and it's like you jumping out the speaker. Like, yeah, I really felt like that at the time. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but that had a lot to do with being in the street though too. It had a lot to do with all the shit that I was naming that I was involved in, whether it be fights, whether it be brawls, whether it be get my ribs cracked with bats, whether it be shootouts, whether it be whatever. That's why I rap that way, because I was actually like in the street being aggressive at the time. So I wanted my shit I wanted it to reflect my real life, and the real way I felt, I wanted it to reflect that. And
yeah, absolutely did.
Yeah, everybody, like most of the people at the Good Life and at the Projectblowed, they were all more peaceful, and it was burning incense, and I was fuck all that shit. I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm a wild. So
you said this is me.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
And I feel like half those cats in the documentaries did not understand that that was you.
Yeah, and it was, but I think that's one reason why a lot of the people respected and liked me and didn't really know why outside of skills. It was because I was actually raw and authentic, and I was a real person. I wasn't trying to be something that I wasn't. Like, I wasn't trying to be like Mr. Peaceful, or I wasn't trying to be Mr. Gangster either. I was what I was.
You were you.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing in any art, any art form, anything really.
Yeah, I think so.
Even if I worked a 1 to 5 job, 1 to 9 job, writing papers down, this is me. This is my report.
Right. That's a fact. And you have to stay true to yourself, because the moment that you start trying to be things that you're not, that's when things go wrong. Like if you know anything about the guy Takashi 6ix9ine, that's where his problem started. He was trying to be something that he never was. So it never surprised me that when he went to prison, he told on all his friends. That don't surprise me, because he wasn't no goddamn thug. So of course, it was his first time in prison. What the hell you think he gonna do? Because he's been acting like a thug this whole time. He's not really a thug. So of course, why are people surprised that he snitched on his friends? Because that wasn't him. And you could tell that shit from a mile away, that he was nothing about a gangster. he was portraying a rappy role as a thug. But soon as the real shit hit the fan, everybody saw what he did. And he tucked his tail and he told on his whole friends and his label mates and all of them in jail. And now he's out and he's personally going through it. He's actually being tormented on the inside because he thought he could get away with that and not even care. But if you kept up with what the last thing happened to him, he OD'd. He not dead, but he OD'd and he was in the hospital. Because guess what? He's so sick of himself, though. He can't even deal with that shit.
That's what the body does, man.
It's eating his ass alive that he did that bullshit. You know, and he thought he could come out here and fake some more. Like, oh, I don't give a fuck. I'm still out here and I'm this millionaire rapper.
I'm making money and blah 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 blah. No, the body gets sick of poison.
Yeah, he tried to take all those goddamn drugs to try to numb himself from the reality of what's going on. And you can't hide from yourself. You can't hide from the inner you, the real you. You can't hide. You can hide shit from people, but you can't hide shit from yourself. The real stuff inside you. Ain't no way to hide that shit.
Yo, I don't want to keep you from your tilapia, but I would ultimately ask for like a 5-minute clip after this on IG Live. Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, that's cool. And if you could do it like in 10, 15 minutes, because my bars are really low right there.
Perfect.
So
15.
I got plug up over here. I gotta plug my phone up to my computer.
So how about 1:20, 1:45 my time?
Which is what 10:45?
I think roughly 10
right here.
10, 11. Well, 45 minute at your time, we'll get on live.
All right, I got you.
Yo, peace, Rifleman.
All right, peace, yo.
Love you, dog.
Peace. Stay safe.
You too, man.